Hello everybody. I'm going to make a real short video because I'm reading some of the posts and I want the mayor, I should give this to the mayor and the chief of police in this town, Chief Merkel. I'm going to go short, and I didn't give you all the names, but the names I've given them you privately. Why are you so raging right now, John? Let me tell you. I'm just writing on the post that's going to go up tomorrow, and then I'm covering. I saw on NBC News, this is on the news, not me just looking online, for stories. And a cop pulled over some black girl or Mexican lady. And he said she didn't have a blinker on. This was world news, NBC News, this last few days. You look at the date of this. Don't ever call yourself law enforcement. Ever. So she had her blinker on, and he supposedly said she didn't have the blinker on. This world news. And then she pulled out her phone. She said, "I'm going to record this." He grabbed that phone and threw it and beat the shit out of that lady. But it was caught on another video, another surveillance video. He's still claiming that everything done in that incident was just and right. You guys are criminals. You guys are criminals. The likes of which we have never seen in a society before. Organized criminals is what you are. Now, the cases you've seen me write about and sent to you. My friend Jesse, that officer planted Xanax on him. And I know he did that. And it took, Jesse was a veteran, an Iraq War veteran. His father was a minister. And I did meetings at that officer's property, which was 918 West Lakeside, Corpus Christi, Texas. And it was all guys that were in the streets. Known gang members from this area, known, many. I liked that meeting. And it was done there because Angel Hanley also likes working with homeless people. And Angel Hanley is the manager of those properties at 918 West Lakeside, where I've worked with men for many years. Many of my homeless friends used to live there. And an officer, a CCP officer, owns that property, the one I have given you his name. And Jesse was so grateful that I was giving Bible studies, because his father was a strict Pentecostal minister, I believe. And Jesse told me one day, he said, "You know, John," he said, "I told my father, we have some guy that comes and helps us," which is me. And he says, "He smokes, Dad, and he's not he says, "but I really learn a lot from John." And his father, who was strict Pentecostal, said to Jesse, "So God sent him to you." And I was not looking for these stories that you hear me talk about. And I know they're true. And because Jesse is the common law husband of Angel Hanley, he therefore is kind of helping manage those apartments for that officer. Tommy Nichols is that officer's name, who commits crimes in this city. So Tommy, that's why that cop admitted it. But that's one out of a million cases. A million. He said, that stuck with me. He said he told that cop, Tommy Nichols, one day, "This is testimony, you go check it out." He said, "We're going to sue you for libel. You threaten to kill people. You threaten to kill people. And you watch every word a person says. You assault them." My friend, I gave you the name. I gave you his street name, which was Crow. That's the one I'm writing about. I think it's going to be in this post. And Jesse he laughed about it. He said, "You know, John, when I saw Tommy, the night of his arrest," Jesse had a record, and he struggled with addiction, and he's an Iraq War vet. He's a good man, Jesse. He's not a regular street guy that you've seen my other friends. Jesse works, and you could tell he was military. And I think he did a lot of years in the military. He's not a street guy. But one night he was in an alley here in Flower Bluff where we live. You listen, Mayor, out of your ignorance. And so Tommy Nichols in the cop car, seeing Jesse, and this happens so much, but he's seen him walking in an alley here in Flower Bluff. And Tommy's had a grudge against all these homeless guys for years. And he hit him with the cop car. John, we can't believe that. You better start believing something. Just tapped him. And this is not the first time. So Jesse fell down. They laugh about it, these guys. And Tommy walked up to Jesse. Why would that cop do that? Why would a CCPD officer be a criminal from sunup to sunset? You tell me. You tell me. So he walked up to him and pulled out a bag of Xanax. This is one out of a million cases, Mayor. And he said, oh, look what I found. Now, Jesse had a record. This is common, this officers have done this. You call yourself law enforcement. Heroes, firefighters died at 9/11. Those were the heroes. Those were the heroes. Not men out to beat the shit out of a Mexican lady because she pulled out her phone. So Jesse got the Xanax planted, told his lawyer. And then one day Jesse said, because he's the common law husband of Angel, who manages those apartments. And he said, John, he said, you know, I told Tommy, this is common knowledge, this kind of stuff. That's why it was, you might be shocked. This is common knowledge. This is not first time. He said, and I saw Tommy Nichols, because he didn't remember. He's done it so many times. He said, you remember me? And that officer, that's Corpus Christi Police Department officer said, no. And he did it in front of witnesses. He said, you planted that Xanax on me and I did 2 years in prison. And Tommy said, sorry about that. So common he couldn't remember. So you asked me why I'm outraged. One out of many, 20 years. And that was 918 West Lakeside. That's the property. So, and then you have to have somebody speak on it, talk about it, trying to run me off the road. And you call yourselves law enforcement. And then you send people to see what John's going to say. You not only make threats to Albert Hoffman that you will make him disappear, which is a murder threat. You not only have one that you murdered in the back of that police vehicle in front of Paris Apartments. And not only do you engage in criminal organized crime in this city as police department, but then you have the gall to say, let's go see what a person says. Let's see if John slips up and says anything, because we can't stand for that in Corpus Christi. So, Mayor, you better take it serious, because those are felonies. And I've been writing the Justice Department, and I want them to come in and shut this department down. Because you treated all this for all these years like it was an in-house departmental problem. And I only gave you the few stories that I did not seek or look for. But they were so common. I'm sure you've been sued many times and made payouts. And what this is not a grudge against one man. This is such a disorganization within civilian departments across the country that the average person does not know that they are unable to police themselves. So you better take it serious. Say, is that a threat, John? Let me tell you, your officers are beating the shit out of people, threatening to murder people through other people that say, keep talking, John, and you're going to get your head blown off. Things of that nature. Where does that come from? Things of that nature. Where does that come from? You have the gall to do a whole series on the if you want to improve relations with the Corpus Christi Police Department, how you can have an on-duty officer doing that for 20 years out here and targeting my family at times. So this one, forget the water boil. You're going to have a federal shutdown of this department. I've been asking for that, for them to come in and shut it down. Okay? This is for you, Mayor. You knew this. You and I think Chad McGill, you all had these things I sent to you, but you were too busy doing other things.